Welcome back, everybody, to the third episode of Chessosophy, the series that aims to teach you the philosophy behind chess improvements. Something I really like and find useful about making these episodes, which is something I'm very new to, is the fact that I can basically imagine this webcam in front of me as whatever type of student I want. And I've sort of taken the liberty to imagine you as a very serious individual who really wants to improve in their own chess improvement. You've of course also noticed that I've started using a webcam, which I hope gives the series a more human feeling moving forward. Without further yapping, let's get into our third concept: patterns combine. Here's the first puzzle: black to move and win material. Okay, so the first things you might see are the things that are being pressured, like this queen pressuring this rook pressuring this bishop, and the queen having to defend both of those pieces. And if you saw that, you probably found the correct move. Rook takes bishop, because of the fact that if the queen takes, then this rook becomes completely undefended, and if we count the material, we are just up a full bishop, meaning we are completely winning. In chess, we call this type of tactic removing the defender. Onto this puzzle, this time white to move and win material. Okay, so just getting right into the answer, it is knight takes pawn. That is the first move. And now the knight attacks the queen, the rook, and the bishop. And if black doesn't want to lose more material, he will have to take the knight. But that, of course, allows the queen to come in and start attacking both the king and the rook. So once black defends, the rook can be taken for free. And if we count material, we are now up an exchange, which is, of course, completely winning. In chess, this is what we call a fork, when a piece attacks multiple pieces. And in this case, it is actually not just a fork with a knight, but the queen swoops in for a double fork, with both the king and the rook aligned for the rook to be taken for free. Here's the final puzzle: white to move and win. Okay, I'll get right into the answer. White has to take the knight either this way or this way. I typically prefer to trade knight for knight, so we'll be taking this way. And because the knight is no longer here, it has actually vacated a very important square for our queen, which you will see soon, because the next move is queen a5. This attacks both the knight and the crucial square. The knight is, of course, already being pressured by the bishop. If the knight moves, the queen goes to f5, pressuring checkmate. And the only way to defend this square is to actually move this pawn, which was the only defender of this bishop, meaning you can get the bishop for free. And once we count material, we are now up a full bishop. And so this actually goes into our concept for today: patterns combine. At the start of this, we removed the defender of this crucial square. And then we forked both the crucial square as well as this undefended piece, giving us access to this square Now forking both this square and this square, meaning we can take this bishop for free and hence winning the game. In chess, not only do we study specific patterns, such as these tactics, but because of the game's multi-move nature, meaning we aren't just looking for mate in ones all the time, we also have to know how to combine these patterns if we want to improve our game. And there are practically an unlimited amount of ways we can combine these patterns. But the more we can spot these combined patterns in our games, the better we can become as chess players. If we actually look at the puzzles I've shown you before, then we can see that those in itself had combined patterns, even though I really only stated one of them. This one, of course, is removing the defender. Though I hinted before that this was also a pattern of overloading the queen. So combining those two, we actually won the game. This one as well had the combined pattern of sacrificing the knight as well as understanding our forks to win this rook for free. But that is today's concept. Patterns combine.